God prosper long our noble King, our lives and safeties all. A woeful hunting once there did in Chevy Chase befall. To drive the deer with hound and horn, Earl Percy took the way. The child may rue that is unborn, the hunting of that day. The stout Earl of Northumberland a vow to God did make, his pleasure in the Scottish woods 3 summer's days to take. The chiefest hearts in Chevy Chase to kill and bear away. These tidings to Earl Douglas came in Scotland where he lay, who sent Earl Percy present word he would prevent his sport. The English Earl, not fearing that, did to the woods resort. With 1,500 bowmen bold, all chosen men of might, who knew full well in time of need to aim their shafts aright. The gallant greyhound swiftly ran to chase the fallow deer. On Monday they began to hunt, ere daylight did appear. And long before high noon they had 100 fat bucks slain. Then having dined, the drovers went to rouse the deer again. The bowmen mustered on the hills, well able to endure. Their backsides all with special care that day were guarded sure. The hounds ran swiftly through the woods, the nimble deer to take, that with their eyes the hills and dells an echo shrill did make. Lord Percy to the quarry went to view the tender deer. Quoth he, Earl Douglas promised once this day to meet me here. But if I thought he would not come, no longer would I stay. With that a brave young gentleman thus to the Earl did say, Lo, yonder doth Earl Douglas come, his men in armor bright, full 200 Scottish spears, all marching in our sight. All men of pleasant tiny dell, fast by the river Tweed. O seashore sports, Earl Percy said, and take your bows with speed. And now with me, my countrymen, your courage forth advance, for there was never champion yet in Scotland nor in France that ever did on horseback come. But and if by hap it were, I durst encounter man for man, with him to break a spear. Earl Douglas on his milk-white steed, most like a baron bold, rode foremost of his company, whose armor shone like gold. Earl Douglas on his milk-white steed, most like a baron bold, rode foremost of his company, whose armor shone like gold. "Show me," said he, "whose men you be, that hunt so boldly here, that without my consent do chase and kill my fallow deer." The first man that did answer make was noble Percy he, who said, "We list not to declare no shew, whose men we be. Yet we will spend our dearest blood, thy chiefest heart to slay." Then Douglas swore a solemn oath, and thus enraged did say, "Ere thus I will outbraved be, one of us two shall die. I know thee well, an earl thou art, Lord Percy, so am I. But trust me, Percy, pity it were, and great offense to kill, than any of these are guiltless men, for they have done none ill. Let thou and I the battle try, and set our men aside. Accursed be he, Earl Percy said, by whom it is denied. Then stepped a gallant squire forth, Witherington was his name, who said, "I would not have it told to Henry our king for shame, that ere my captain fought on foot, and I stand looking on. You be two earls," quoth Witherington, "and I am squire alone. I'll do the best that do I may, while I have power to stand. While I have power to wield my sword, I'll fight with heart and hand." Our English archers bent their bows, their hearts were good and true. At the first flight of arrows sent, full fourscore Scots they slew. To drive the deer with hound and horn, Douglas bade on the bent. Two captains moved with mickle might, their spears to shivers went. They closed full fast on every side, no slackness there was found. But many a gallant gentleman lay gasping on the ground. Oh Christ, it was great grief to see how each man chose his spear, and how the blood out of their breasts did gush like water clear. At last these two stout earls did meet, like captains of great might. Like lions would they laid on load that made a cruel fight. They fought until they both did sweat, with swords of tempered steel, till blood down their cheeks like rain the trickling down did fill. "Oh, yield thee, Percy," Douglas said, "and in faith I will thee bring, where thou shalt high advanced be, by James our Scottish king." Thy ransom I will freely give, and this report of thee. Thou art the most courageous knight that ever I did see. No, Douglas, quoth Earl Percy then, thy proffer I do scorn. I will not yield to any Scot that ever yet was born. With that there came an arrow keen out of an English bow, which struck Earl Douglas on the breast, a deep and deadly blow, who never said more words than these: "Fight on, my merry men all, for why my life is at an end, Lord Percy sees my fall." Then leaving life, Earl Percy took the dead man by the hand, who said, "Earl Douglas, for thy life would I had lost my land. O Christ, my very heart doth bleed for sorrow for thy sake. For sure a more redoubted knight mischance could never take." A knight amongst the Scots there was, which saw Earl Douglas die, who straight in heart did vow revenge upon the Lord Percy. Sir Hugh Montgomery was he called, who with a spear full bright, well mounted on a gallant steed, ran fiercely through the fight, and past the English archers all, without draw, dread, or fear, and through Earl Percy's body then he thrust his hateful spear. With such a vehement force and might his body he did gore, the staff ran through the other side, a large cloth yard and more. Thus did both those nobles die, whose courage none could stain. An English archer then perceived the noble earl was slain. He had a good bow in his hand, made of a trusty tree. An arrow of a cloth yard long to the hard head held he. Against Sir Hugh Montgomery his shaft full right he set. The grey goose wing that was thereon in his heart's blood was wet. This fight from break of day did last till setting of the sun, for when they rung the evening bell, the battle scarce was done. With stout Earl Percy there was slain Sir John of Egerton, Sir Robert Hartcliffe, and Sir William, Sir James that bold baron. And with Sir George and Sir James, both knights of good account, good Sir Ralph Raby there was slain, whose prowess did surmount. For Witherington needs must I well as one in doleful dumps, for when his legs was smitten of, he fought upon his stumps. And with Earl Douglas there was slain Sir Hugh Montgomery, and Sir Charles Morel that from felled one foot would never flee. Sir Roger Hure of Harcliffe too, his sister's son was here. Sir David Lamwell, well esteemed, but saved he could not be. And the Lord Maxwell in like ease. And the Lord Maxwell in like case, with Douglas he did die. Of 200 Scottish spears, scarce 55 did fly. Of 1,500 Englishmen went home but 53. The rest in Chevy Chase were slain under the greenwood tree. Next day did many widows come, their husbands to be well. They washed their wounds in brinish tears, but all would not prevail. Their bodies bathed in purple blood, they bore with them away. They kissed them dead 1,000 times, ere they were clad in clay. The news was brought to Edinburgh, where Scotland's king did reign, that brave Earl Douglas suddenly was with an arrow slain. Oh, heavy news, King James can say, Scotland may witness be. I have not any captain more of such account as he. Like tidings to King Henry came like tidings to King Henry came within a shorter space, that Piercy of Northumberland was slain in Chevy Chase. Now God be with him, said our king, sith it will not better be. I trust I have within my realm 500 as good as he. Yes, shall not Scots nor Scotland stay, but I will vengeance take, and be revenged on them all for brave Earl Percy's sake. This vow the king did well perform, after on humble down. In one day 50 knights were slain, with lords of great renown, and of the rest of small account did many hundreds die. Thus endeth the hunting in Chevy Chase made by the Earl Percy. God save our king, and bless this land with plenty, joy, and peace, and grant henceforth that foul debate twixt noble men may